don't know, it's been a while. Yeah, I haven't updated the canceled movie series in a while, so Illumination sound good? Illumination isn't a company I personally think of as bad, but it's easy to see why some don't find them the best. And while yes, I find it eerie that the company that said yes to Hop could say no to something, it's strangely happened a lot. But there's a good amount of canceled material to go through, so let's get right into it. Flanimals. Before their debut, in 2009, Illumination was going to make an adaptation of the book Flanimals, which was written by comedian and The Office star Ricky Gervais. I would love to see this book, you know what, checks out. The plot would have followed a group of species so mishappen and ugly that they're cute, with one setting out to change the world. Goddamn, that's lame. The reason for the film's cancellation is quite odd though. Ricky Gervais got sued in 2010 by another author by the name of John Savage, who had a book called Captain Potty's Wildlife Encyclopedia, which was published back in 2000, and featured creatures that, in Savage's own words, were essentially the same as Flanimals. There is so much I can say about this lawsuit. 1, your pen name is John Savage, get the fuck out of here. 2nd, if I published a book called Captain Potty's Wildlife Encyclopedia, I would not bring that to attention. 3rd, the argument that Flanimals and the ugly creatures from Savage's book are essentially the same characters has the same argument that Pokemon and Palworld are the same game because you can catch creatures in both of them. A lot happened here, and while the lawsuit isn't the confirmed reason, it's the most likely one. Where's Waldo? There have been too many damn attempts to bring the picture book Where's Waldo to the big screen, ranging from MGM to Nickelodeon, but Illumination's attempt once again came in 2009, set to have Eric Ellenbogen, of Where Waldo's owner Classic Media fame, as an executive producer. It seems the film never got past its early stages. While I would say it's weird to adapt a picture book into a film, these exist, so that's stupid to say. Untitled Cryptozoology film. In 2009 seems to be the golden year of these canceled projects. An animated film on the topic of cryptozoology, exploring the study of unconfirmed creatures like Bigfoot, Loch Ness monsters, etc., was pitched by Absolutely Fucking Not. Can you imagine his involvement in a movie like this? That is Bigfoot. I gotta stop with that shit. It seems that Black actually didn't want to voice characters like he did in the past for this one, so I guess that's cool. Budget problems hurt this one bad, and Illumination dropped out of the production. Curious George. Shortly after the release of Despicable Me in 2010, Illumination announced they'd be adapting the Curious George book as a live-action hybrid film. No! Yeah, Illumination pretty much said yeah, never fucking again with live-action hybrids after Hop bombed, so Curious George was shelved. On one hand, with production time and development, this film would have been released around 6 or 7 years after the 2006 film, and I really like that one, so I think I'm cool with this one never happening. Pluto. In 2010, Illumination and Tezuka Productions announced an animated hybrid film based on the manga Pluto. And yes, I really did think up to doing the research for this, I thought it was going to be about Mickey's dog, but you know, whatever. The film would have taken heavy inspiration from Astro Boy, and if there was ever a film not to take heavy inspiration from, Astro Boy bombed at the box office, and once again, Hop's failure also contributed to this one being shelved. Never read the manga, so I don't have much for this one. The Addams Family. In 2010, Illumination announced plans to adapt the Addams Family into a stop-motion film with co-producer and possible director Tim Burton. Fuck! Are you kidding me? I was robbed an Addams Family stop-motion film from the guy who basically has no bad stop-motion films? So what happened? Well, as of what we know, Universal lost the rights to the film and production halted in 2013. Instead, MGM got the rights to the film and made it a generic-ass CG film in 2019. Because if there's anything I think of when I think Addams Family, I think of Snoop! I can't act like the 2019 film was horrible, but damn it, dude, we could have gotten the next Nightmare Before Christmas! I think this is the first time I'm actually pissed we didn't get something. Ugly Dolls. In 2011, Illumination planned to adapt the Ugly Dolls into a movie. Cancellation reasons are unknown. Real Effects and STX reworked the film, releasing it in 2019, and that is all she wrote, my friends. Concerning the quality of the 2019 film, not much to say. Emily the Strange.
Big guy. Hey, I don't want to do this segment. I just want to listen to the new Ice Spice song, you know? Hey, Space Boy, you got me right? Yeah.
Yes, Illumination was originally gonna produce a movie adaptation of the comic series of Emily the Strange with Dark Horse Entertainment. They even want Chloe Grace Moretz to be the VA of Emily. And we all know Chloe was absolutely perfect as Nimona. Now, I've never really read Emily the Strange. I'll read it when you read either Anya's Ghost or Mother Heroine. But I can do a mean Google search on the book's plot. According to Dark Horse's website, Emily the Strange is not your ordinary 13-year-old girl. She's got razor-sharp wit as dark as her jet black hair, a posse of moody black cats, and famous friends in very odd places. She's got a brutally unique way of experiencing the world, and you're invited along for the ride. Legions of fans worldwide have joined forces to make Emily a pop culture phenomenon. I wouldn't be surprised if the author was influenced by both Scary Godmother and Hot Topic. Now, the film was sadly abandoned by Universal in 2016, and Dark Horse and Amazon Studios were in negotiations to revive the animated film. However, it wasn't until October 2024 where Warner Bros. Pictures Animation, originally known as Warner Animation Group, and J.J. Abrams' very own production company, Bad Robot Productions, announced their collaboration on a full-length animated feature on Emily the Strange, with Pamela Ribon handling screenplay, and Bob Rego being an executive producer alongside Trevor Duke Moretz, who I recently discovered is the brother of Chloe Grace Moretz, meaning Chloe might be voicing Emily again. Not gonna lie, based on how Warner Bros. Revived Illumination's canceled Cat in the Hat film, and is planned to release on November 6, 2026, and the fact they and Bad Robot Productions are also doing All the Places You Go, I think we might have some good projects under our belt. But then again, Mr. J.J. Abrams himself was also a part of Star Wars The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Now, before I go, I'll say this. Illumination's not that bad of a company. They treat and pay their animators well and fair, they're anti-AI and anti-NFT, plus, they also made that short film called Penglide, so they definitely have some talent, but they just need extra better screenplay writers, at least if they do more original films. Just so that way, they can also make films that connect with different types of audiences. But those are just my thoughts. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna try to convince A24 to give Multidem and Find My Mission Impossible an English dub. Because if they can help with Hazbin Hotel and give Nesha 2 an English dub, then damn it, why not help with this? Anyways, bye Zendo. Spaceboy CT out.
Big Gabby. It is a really catchy song. Don't make me call security.
Woody Woodpecker. In 2011, Illumination was planning a Woody Woodpecker movie. Once again, it was planned to be a live-action hybrid, and considering what I'll just call Illumination's infamous second movie, that's just not gonna happen. The Cat in the Hat. In 2012, Illumination had plans to adapt Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat, and sadly, because the Lorax was financially successful, it seemed pretty set in stone. Sadly, and I do say that with sarcasm, Illumination dropped their deal with Dr. Seuss Productions in 2019, following their 2018 Grinch film. Warner Brothers ended up picking up the rights and are currently set to produce their own film in November of next year. Pretty high for that one, honestly. Considering Illumination's "That's a woman" sins, I am glad this never happened. Gospel for Teens. Illumination acquired the rights to the 60 Minutes segment Gospel for Teens, set to adapt it into an animated movie. Not much is known on this one or if it's officially been cancelled. Green Eggs and Ham. Similar to Cat in the Hat, this would have been an adaptation of the Seuss book. Reasons for the cancellation are probably similar to Cat in the Hat. I'm happier with the Netflix show.
Time for action, a fire we must light.
Dr. Seuss biopic. Illumination apparently had plans to adapt the life of the children's book author Dr. Seuss into a biopic. It would have been an ambitious project to say the least. The film hasn't had much development since 2022, though it's said that Johnny Depp would have played him. That's pretty cool. Clifford the Big Red Dog. In 2012, Illumination planned to adapt Clifford the Big Red Dog, oh, let me guess, into a live-action hybrid. I love that Hop failed. Look! In 2013, they dropped the film and Paramount produced their own adaptation in 2021, which, by the way, I completely forget that movie exists some days, okay? My homies like Clifford's big movie, thank you. Johnny Express. In 2015, Illumination planned to adapt the South Korean CGI short Johnny Express into a feature-length movie, and they're wasting their efforts with known characters like Mario. That film looks fucking phenomenal, I ain't gonna lie. That and the Michael Jackson movie, oh my god, April's gonna cook!
So guys, what do you want to do today?
The biggest issue for Illumination was the content within the short. It had multiple military themes, and Illumination would have just released Minions, so yeah, seeing a fucking war zone probably wouldn't have worked. The short's pretty good, I'd say check that out. Sometimes, though, a short should just stay a short. My big takeaway with these is that Illumination simply had too many big ideas too early. So many of these were live-action hybrids that Illumination most likely planned before the release of Easter's Geneva Violations. For me, some of these are cool, like obviously the Addams Family film was pretty damn sad to see. But for others, let's just be glad Illumination is getting their bearings now rather than later.